Greeting, Mr. Albright.
Ladies and gentlemen, I had a prepared text to be read, but in light of changes, I'll adjust my text. I'd just like to welcome you all, along with our illustrious Prime Minister, members of Parliament, elected officials here in Harlem, to the Bahamian, what we call it, the Bahamian flavor. And Mr. Prime Minister, ministers, you'll be hearing from us, the Bahamian American Association here in Harlem. We're going to have a Bahamian flag on every other corner. Like they used the Jamaican flag, we're going to use the Bahamian flag. CARICOM will know that the Bahamas is here in Harlem. So I want to welcome you all. Thank you. Enjoy.
Okay, we're going to get to the food in a few moments, but we just have a very, very brief program, a few presentations we want to give at this time. Let me call Ms. Stubbs. On the occasion of the 70th anniversary of the United Nations, which is being celebrated now, and of course, in commemoration of this official visit to New York by our Prime Minister, we wanted to present awards to a number of outstanding Bahamians within the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. And so I'm going to ask Ms. Michelle Stubbs, our finance officer at the Bahamas Mission, if she would give brief introductions of our honorees. And I'm going to ask, but before we even do that, let me say that we have 3 employees at the Bahamas Mission who have served for over 20 years. I'm going to ask our minister if he would kindly present these tokens of appreciation to these 3 dedicated persons who have served in excess of 20 years at the mission. The first award to the employee who had served for a long time goes to Ms. Carla Thomas Florence, who has served for 30 plus years at the Bahamas Mission. The next award goes to Mr. Hurley, my driver, but I understand he's downstairs wiping the car, so he has given some 20 plus years. And thirdly, to Ms. Carolyn Johnson, our accountant. I understand that she's downstairs, but her assistant-in-law will accept it on her behalf.
Yes.
Please, oh my God.
And then we want to present 2 awards to 2 of our employees who have just been transferred. First of all, Ms. Sasha Dixon. Ms. Dixon is being transferred to Geneva.
Then he doesn't look good.
An authentic Bahamian luxury handbag.
This is so rude. People like this.
And our next award goes to Ms. Dixon. I forgot the certificate. The next award goes to Miss Alison Booker, who's been transferred to London.
Tell him to move, excuse me.
Mr. Prime Minister, would you kindly join us here and present these awards?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The profiles for our honorees are in your booklets. I will condense them as much as I can. Our first honoree is Mr. Roscoe Davis. Unfortunately, he is not here. He's on assignment in Egypt, but Ms. Carolyn Young-Miller will accept on his behalf. Mr. Roscoe Davis has been the Director of International Audit at the Ford Foundation since 1990. He continues to be an active supporter of the Bahamian American Association in New York, and he is married to Fabiana Maia of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and together they have 2 children. Let's get a round of applause for him in his absence. Thank you.
Could you move him like this?
Our next honoree is Dana J. Ferguson, barrister at law and actress. Ms. Ferguson is the eldest daughter of Ashwood and Deverell Ferguson and a graduate of Queens College High School in Nassau. While undergoing her international baccalaureate studies, she performed as Frenchie in the bilingual version of Grease to sold-out audiences. She's also performed in an off-Broadway production and is a qualified barrister, having been called to the bars of England and the Bahamas. Let's have a round of applause for Ms. Dana Ferguson. Mr. Peter Galandris. Mr. Galandris is a graduate of Harvard University. He was appointed Deputy Chairman of the newly formed Bahamas Maritime Authority. He also serves on various committees and boards and is an active member of charitable trusts and foundations. He's deeply devoted to supporting Bahamian interests both at home and abroad. Let's hear it for Mr. Galandris. The Honorable Carl E. Hastie, Speaker of the New York State Assembly. Unfortunately, he is not here. He is the first African American to serve as Speaker of the New York State Assembly, elected by his Assembly colleagues on February 3rd, 2015. He holds a master's degree in business administration with concentration in finance and a bachelor's degree in applied mathematics and statistics. Let's have a round of applause for the Honorable Carl Hastie in his absence. Dr. Dana F. Manaya. Innovator and humanitarian. She's a native of Texas and takes great pride in being a friend of the Bahamas and her membership in the Bahamian American Association. She truly cherishes her Bahamian community and friends. Dr. Manaya, although retired, continues to be an innovator and humanitarian. Let's hear it for Dr. Manaya.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Emil George Moxie is not here. In his absence, he's currently a tenured professor of community and human services and social sciences, and he's worked in various areas in the field of social work. A round of applause, please, for Dr. Emile George. Dr. Wendell Pizarro Patton. Dr. Patton is a product of the public school education, but he earned a full scholarship which allowed him to complete his studies at St. Andrew's School with honors as deputy head boy, having obtained 11 BGCSEs and the Ministry of Education's award for the highest overall average in combined science. He is presently completing his formal postdoctorate training at the prestigious NYU Langone Medical Center, where he is a fellow in hand surgery under internationally renowned pediatric and congenital hand surgeon, Dr. David Chu. Round of applause.
All right.
I'm trying to get my hand fixed.
The Honorable J. Michelle Sweeting, Civil Court Judge.
I like it, Joe.
She was elected on November 4, 2014 from 10th Municipal Court District in Harlem. She's the first and only African-American woman jurist to preside in New York County Family Court since Jane Bolden, the first African-American woman judge in the United States. She is an alumni of Rutgers University School of Law and hopes that her election to the bench inspires a new generation of civic-minded community leaders to pursue a career in law. The Honorable Michelle Sweeting. Honorable Kenneth L. Thompson, Jr., Justice of the Supreme Court of the State of New York. He's the product of two Bahamians, earned his bachelor's degree from New York University and a Juris Doctor degree from St. John's University Law School. Would you please raise your hands and give a rousing round of applause? Honorable Kenneth Thompson. Last, and last but surely not least, we're going to call Dr. Marva Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell is the fifth child of the Mitchell children and began her private practice dentistry as a dental director for the NY Hotel Trades Union with interest in sleep medicine. She's now beginning a career as a mediator with the National Association of Community Mediators. Let's hear it for Dr. Marva Mitchell.
All right, Dr. Martin.
Let's give all of our honorees a rousing round of applause.
There are many persons in the room right now who weren't with us when we had a town meeting upstairs early this evening. And so I'm going to ask Mrs. Beryl Edgecombe if she would come and give an introduction of our Prime Minister, who will then bring greetings to those of you who may not have been with us upstairs. Mrs. Edgecombe.
Honorable Ministers, His Excellencies, Honorable Dignitaries, guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm here this evening not to sing the praises of the Bahamian American Cultural Society or the television show Damn Bahamians, but more importantly to introduce you to a man who has grown up with and epitomized the growth of the Bahamas towards becoming the best island nation in the world. He is educated as an attorney at law. He graduated from the Inner Temple at the University of London and has practiced as a politician for over 40 years. He has served both in the Bahamas Senate and in Parliament, the House of Assembly, and he has served the people of the District of Centerville, who has elected him continuously. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, he is used to winning. He also served as a member of the cabinet, holding positions as minister of several ministries, including the Ministry of Tourism, and presently holds the position as the Minister of Finance. In 1997, he was elected as leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, PLP, succeeding the Right Honorable Sir Lyndon Pinling, the first Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Today, he continues in that position as leader of the Progressive Liberal Party. He is serving for a second time as the third Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And let me add that he is an avid Junkanooer, and for many years continues to hold a very strong tie to the Valley Boys. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let us stand and welcome the Right Honorable Perry Gladstone Christie, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth.
Thank you very much. Please have a seat. As you're sitting, you know, I had the thought, wouldn't it be wonderful if all y'all could vote in the Bahamas? Then I could go from table to table campaigning. But I don't want to encourage you to do that. But listen, it's a pleasure for colleagues and myself to be here with you. I had the opportunity to speak for about 30, 40 minutes, giving people an overview of the Bahamas and where we are. I think it's wonderful to be able to come to New York and meet people who live here, whose roots are no different to mine. And I must tell you that whenever I make speeches, I try to indicate, particularly to American officials, that my grandmother, my father's mother, lived for over 50 years at 45 West 110th Street. Now, if I walk over here, I can't find it. But I used to go there every year when I came home for holidays on my way back to London, where I was studying, and I would stop with Grandma and my Aunt Sue, who they lived together for all that time. I must also tell you, I made a half-hearted effort, because you know they used to have subsidized, you know, I tried to get it in my name. That apartment when they died, but I say, let me give this up before I get in myself a little bit of problems over here. But I just want to be able to thank you for coming out. We were here a couple days ago and went back to Nassau and came back today. I'm speaking at the United Nations tomorrow, sometime after the Pope speaks, and most certainly again representing the Bahamas in a way that is so important to us. And I should invite each of you to recognize that I've come from a home of a taxi driver. Whenever you land in the Bahamas and you spend some money, you're spending money with people like taxi drivers. So I encourage you to come home and to spend your money, because those taxi drivers like my daddy couldn't themselves have the opportunity they gave their children, and they were enabled to get their children to university. That's the kind of country we live in. And live, so many of them, to see their children succeed. And so, for me, therefore, that is the story of the Bahamas, a magnificent story of people who aspire for themselves and their children, and even though they themselves may not have had the opportunity, they gave it to their children. And so we're going to have now an opportunity to hear one of the best bands in the country. I want to inspire them to be as good as they were when I listened to them last. But then bring the woman who was singing. You're right here, honey. You're okay. Listen, I mean, because, you know, I want to see you up here too. And I want you to know that, again, this is a wonderful group of prison officers with great talent and who have been able to use their talent to cause us to be entertained even at home. So it was really a pleasure for me to come in here and see them here. And without much ado, I'm going to walk from here and hope Dr. Rami, that's you, darling? Yeah, come up here, let me see you. No. Listen, and you watch them as if they're singing a song where you could shake, you watch them shake. They could work the song with the music. And so it really makes a wonderful presentation that you're going to hear today. And so I just want to be able to say thank you very much for coming out. ZNES will be able to show that we had a wonderful meeting here with you, and it's just so good to share fellowship. Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to eat. Before we do that, I just want to acknowledge the presence of, I think, 5 members of the Bahamas cabinet. Ladies and gentlemen, would you kindly stand? Members of the Bahamas cabinet who are here, starting with our foreign minister, the Honorable Frederick Mitchell. Honorable Melanie Griffin, Minister of Social Services. Jerome Fitzgerald, Minister of Education. Caleb Roll, Minister for Foreign Investment. And Ken Dossett, the Minister for Housing and Environment. If you are sitting at a reserved table, you will be served. If you're not sitting at a reserved table, you will queue up at the back and collect your meals. Thereafter, the #1 band in the Bahamas. And you notice there are no tables right here. There's a reason for that. So, caterer, you may begin. We're going to start with... The reserved tables are going to be served, right?
Can we serve ourselves? Can we serve ourselves? Can we serve ourselves? Okay. Prime Minister, after you. Oh, you have to take the breaks. Oh. It'll take you long.
Never
Bahama House. Administrative. We're trying to do it the right way. We don't have to do that
Faithful as our love can be.